Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your 2022 Oakland mayoral candidate. It's been a week. It's 1 week. It's Wednesday. I've been living homeless back out here on the street for exactly 1 week, and it's been a busy week for me. I didn't sit on my butt or do anything. I had to deal with some depression issues here, which I expected, because coming back out here, believe me, it's a big trigger. And so I've been dealing with that. I have plenty of tools to work with. So, and then I'm also staying really busy, and it's just been crazy here. Yesterday I met with the city of Oakland came down here. I met with Talia Rubin and Darrielle Dunstan of the city of Oakland, along with the traffic control officer and the parking officer down here for Oakland OPD. We also had Pete from Department of Public Works, the sanitation for garbage. And so we discussed a lot of things yesterday, and we're going to get this street cleaned up. When my camp leader here left, it left this community without any leadership and no guidance, adherence to any of the past rules that we had in place. So now that I'm back, I'm putting those rules back in place. That was part of yesterday's meeting with Talia Rubin, the city, Darrielle Dunstan. We're also what I've been asking for years on this, which is the concrete K-rails. And so we're actually going to set up a buffer zone here, which is what I've been asking for years. And they're finally giving it to me because they see the value of what I've been talking about. I haven't been trying to harm them in any way. I'm just telling them these are things that need to be done if you want to be successful. You want a camp to become successful and not be a problem. Let's do it my way instead of your way. And so that's what I'm starting to get the cooperation with from Darrielle Dunstan yesterday. So they're going to be cooperating with me, and they're finding that I'm actually pretty reasonable, and I've always been reasonable with trying to get things going. But anyway, yesterday we towed away 4 vehicles. Yeah, we're cleaning up the street here. I've been telling folks here for years, no cars, absolutely no cars here. And so they keep bringing cars in, and these are cars that don't run. If they don't have money for housing, how are you going to pay for the vehicle to get fixed to run again? Get rid of it. Because they're not paying for registration, they're obviously not paying insurance on it. They kind of live in it sometimes, but usually not. On this street, everybody's pretty much living in their tent, except for the folks behind me in the van. They actually live in that van, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to talk to them, and we'll come up with some sort of arrangement. But also, what we're doing, we're establishing a buffer and safety zone for the businesses down the street, because the camps on the other side, after leadership disappeared, they kind of went on a wild ride and took over the street. So that's become a problem. And now that I'm back, I'm working with the city. I try to work with the folks down the street, but we've got some problems down there that we're going to be dealing with. And so that's why we had the big powwow yesterday. It was the meeting of the badges. So all of us had badges, including myself. At first, I was the only person without a badge in the meeting, and so I went back, grabbed my Alameda County badge. So pinned that on. Now I look pretty good in that group. But it was fun. We had a great discussion. It was really productive. So good things are going to happen here. We're going to clean this camp up. We're going to make it a model again, because this was Oakland's very first sanctioned camp. It was officially sanctioned back March 8th in 2018 by Libby Schaff. So we're going to put it back into that status, the model status again. We're going to be building an arch cabin tiny home here. And I'm going to live in that unit until we break ground and get all the infrastructure at the other project, which is the Caltrans project that I have going with the state of California. And that's under Project Home Key. That's the new project for housing the homeless folks. And so it's the Caltrans property on right near the Oakland Coliseum behind the TEC Truck Center. It's 20 acres. We've got it designed out for a maximum capacity of 500 units. In the initial plan, we only we're going to start with 100 units. And then once we got rolled into Project Home Key, it is now 350 units that are going to go in. It's going to take about a year and a half to get everything all taken care of, get the underground infrastructure in place, meaning the sewer and the water lines, and this whole community is going to be clean and green, because we're going to be hooking that up with renewable energy. And so that's solar and wind. So we're using a combination of solar and wind to power the entire village. So that's going to be a huge change. We're going to be demonstrating clean and green living with low carbon footprints with these tiny homes that we're bringing in from Arch Cabin. So just stay with us. We're already starting to gather some of the things that are going to be necessary. It's been a crazy week. Like I said, yesterday I had that meeting with the city of Oakland, and then I've got all my other projects. You know, another exciting project that I'm working on behind the scenes right now is a project called Den Mail, D-E-N Mail, and that's for the homeless community exclusively. It's a great program. We've got some new infusion of talent. So they're working on the apps right now, and we're hoping for a rollout very soon. So stay tuned on Den Mail. So that's a project that's going on. And so I've got Project Home Key, Den Mail, and then I'm bringing a model of that tiny home to right here. And then once we start assembling it, we get it all put together, it's going to be open for tours so that folks, you can actually come down and see this model that we're putting in place. And I'm going to live in it. You're going to be able to see clean and green living. It's going to be just like a regular home. It's going to have the infrared stovetop and oven. It'll have hot and cold running water, shower, and heating, AC, LED interior lighting, refrigerators, so hot and cold running water, a shower inside. We're not going to put the toilet inside. That will be installed once it gets over to the final site. So that way the city doesn't freak out on me. Because when I was talking about that with Talia seemed to give me a pretty good thumbs up on that, because it's a temporary, and she knows that it's going to go over to the Project Home Key. Darielle Dunstan also heard the same thing, so I don't anticipate any problems. Another exciting thing that we've just discovered is a way to get electrical power to the homeless communities safely. And so I'm going to be working on getting that put in right here, and we're going to do the first 4 camps right here. My tiny home, I'm going to exclude from the PG&E, but I'm going to power up my neighbors, and so they'll have power. I'm going to be running on solar, and I'll have a backup generator in the event of gray days like this, and so that'll help put the power back in. Also, with the solar wind system that I'm putting on in my tiny home, it's a 1400 watt solar wind combination system, and that's clean, green, and on overcast days like this, I don't have to worry very much, because then I can rely on the wind, which is a constant through here, and so we're not losing any energy. Plus at night, you continue to energize your system through the wind, because the wind turbine keeps, anytime there's wind, it's going to generate electricity and flow into the system. So we're always going to be energizing somehow, some way, day or night. And so these are some of the things that you'll be able to see that we're going to be bringing right here to the Rangers community. And then we're going to be cleaning up back here. Hopefully, if this goes really well with the city and everything, we'll be able to hopefully do some fundraising and put hopefully 12 by 12 units all the way down for the rest of the folks. That would be an incredible project for them to actually live in a decent dwelling for once, until Project Home Key is completed on the other side of the freeway. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.